How are you doing today? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Andreas, and in today's video I'm going to talk about how to make the most out of poker in 2019. The first tip that I have for you, get good at poker. It sounds very obvious, but taking care of your strategy is the most important thing you can do at first if you want to make poker in 2019 a successful year. Understanding pre-flop ranges and then looking at those range versus range interactions on different flop textures. If you are able to do that, then that's going to make the difference between a solid strategy and something that's just often random. And you can never learn out. I know that from personal experience. You can always do more. You can always become better. And having also that belief will maybe drive you more to continue in poker as well. Now, if you have that taken care of, getting good at poker, then the second thing you want to do is you want to find up to 8 players that are worse than you to play with. You don't have to even be that good at poker. As long as you find weaker players that you can play with and you can win money against them, or big blinds, or whatever you want to think in, then that's going to be fine. And there are certainly players out there who've mastered this, that they just find weaker players and they might not even be in the top 10-20% of all players, but they're actually winning because they know exactly who to play against. And the second thing is also, if you're at a table and you might not be the best or the second best at the table, sometimes being the third, the fourth best is also enough, because you might limit your damage against the better players, but then play against the worst players than you at the table and win money that way. The third thing that is incredibly important, and I want to mention here, is you have to beat the rake. Often the rake is going to be the biggest enemy at your table. More rake is actually not better. And let's say, for example, that you beat all your opponents for about $50 an hour in like a 2-5 game, which is, I think, pretty good. But then the rake is something like $20, $30. You can see how your hourly rate goes down to a fairly low level. So, looking after the rake and what it exactly does, and then also, maybe more importantly, after your expenses that you have, other than that, for example, the accommodation, the hotel that you have to pay for, or also the food that you have to buy, is going to be pretty important, and it can basically make the difference between you winning a poker or losing in the end. And then the fourth reason what you want to go after is you have to increase the stakes against those 8 weaker players and to increase your hourly. Going from maybe a 1-2 game where also the rake has a huge impact to a 2-5 game, to a 5-10 game, and then continuously increasing the stakes and finding an edge against in a higher limit is going to make you rise up the ladder. If you're just always grinding for 5 years at the 2-5 limit, well, things are not going to change that drastically. You have to look for those spots to get into a better game, especially if you think it's not going to increase your bankroll by that much, staying at your current limit that you are. So you might want to get back to step number 1, which is to get good at poker or get better at poker, and then repeat that process all over again to increase your chances to make it in poker. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and if it helped you, don't forget also to subscribe to the channel. You can also find a lot of strategy content here on my YouTube channel. There's going to be some plays and explains on here. I'm also talking about some software that I'm using to increase my understanding, or to better my understanding of equity in poker, or also, for example, a database analysis tool with Hold'em Manager 2. So if you are more new to that and you want to understand more about poker from that angle, definitely subscribe and check out some of my older videos. And then thanks for watching, and see you for the next video.